What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live Q&A from FLX HQ right here in San Diego. Today, we are going to be answering any questions you've got about the Baby Maker, e-bikes in general, and explaining any of the last updates in general if they have not been clear in any way. Troy will be joining at 2:10 p.m. with a global logistics and status update. So any of the more complicated logistics or production issues, I will be deferring to him once he's in here giving his report. Sarah will be coming in after him around 2:30 and followed by Jason for any mechanic-related questions. So I'm just waiting in the live chat for any questions here. And it looks like we've only got one viewer. So hopefully the links that we sent out were all correct. It said we had some people there earlier, but I'm not seeing any comments. So I'm going to try and pull this up in another link. Hey, there we go. Williard. All right, we're in the right place. Williard, where is my bike, Rob? Just kidding. That question, I'm sure you won't be the first person or the last person to ask that, Williard. All of the bikes, we've set a deadline to deliver them by July 31st. We're quite confident in that date at this point. Europe is the biggest question mark as we have had the delays with customs there. However, big progress was made over the last week with our first FLX representative in Spain, Franco, absolutely killing it, adding the pressure there. And we've got a load of components that have recently cleared Spanish customs, and things are moving there. We just received some photos from Spain today of multiple bikes on the assembly line getting worked on, also wheels being built. So super exciting. Troy and Franco and our production partners there, they're working on an updated build plan because all the components that got out, we still don't have everything from the components we're waiting on, but we do have enough to build some bikes. So they're working on a build plan, moving SKUs around to figure out everything that we can possibly build now, get the ball moving on those, get those bikes built, and ship those first. As more components clear, we'll continue building. So super exciting. Although that does concern you over there in the UK, as our first shipment will be going to the UK. So over the next week or two, we'll keep you updated on that. But it's looking like very highly likely before the end of March that we will have a shipment on its way to the UK. Oliver, hi Rob, do you know how many bikes have been ordered from Germany? Oliver, offhand, I do not. I can check and try and get some stats for you, but I would say it's probably in the magnitude of 100 or so. Don't quote me on that. I can try and get some data for you. Robert Boudreau, order from May 2020 was supposed to be in October, now March, and that isn't happening. Any more updates? Blue Raspberry going to Vegas. So, Robert, we are a little bit over halfway through fulfilling orders to the U.S. There was some slowdowns due to our two factories in China shutting down for the Chinese New Year holiday. Now both of those are back online. We're shipping out 660 bikes this weekend from our second facility in China. The allocations have not been sent for those yet, so please keep an eye out for an allocation letter on those bikes. If it's not on that shipment, which is 3 containers, it will be on a future shipment, and we're projecting that all bikes will be delivered by July 31st. So sometime between now and then, you'll have your bike. Connie Reese, hey Rob, Michael sent me a text the other day saying my bike should ship out today. Will they use the same tracking number or send me a new one? Connie, I would imagine it's a new tracking number, but I'll let Troy confirm that once he's in. Bob Buck, hello Rob. I am so looking forward to receiving my Baby Maker Pro in Seattle area. Bob, we're so excited to get it to you as well. Loads of bikes are being delivered as we speak and will continue to be delivered before that July 31st deadline. So really excited. Thank you for your patience. It'll be well worth the wait. Andy, US backer, June 1st, Kiwi Pro 23, any time of delivery in Iowa. Again, Andy, I can't give specific dates for anybody's order, but I can say with high confidence that it will be before that July 31st deadline. Deanozor said, hi Rob, my Baby Maker Pro came with misrouted brake cables. Your support staff isn't willing to help me get this fixed. The bike shop near me charges $90 for a repair. What can I do? Do you mind telling me exactly what you mean by the misrouted brake cables? And we will have a mechanic on who's very, very professional, very experienced with these matters. He's coming in around 2:40, 2:45, so in about 40 minutes. I'm going to, if we remember, if we don't forget, ask him about that question. If you can provide some more details, that would be great. Andy, what email do we look for? FedEx or Indiegogo for confirmation? Both. So actually, all three. We send out an email. That's from shipping at flx.bike, and it's so important, you guys. I know not everybody watches these lives, but you guys are in the know. Please keep an eye out for those emails. They do have a lot of really important information. Number one is confirming your address. Before we send it, we do send out an email to confirm your address. It also says in that email, I believe, exactly what configuration you're getting. So look at your address, make sure that's correct. Also look at the configuration, make sure that's what you've ordered. If you spot it early, we can probably do something about it. If you wait till you get it, at the very least, once you get it, please read the barcode on the bike box. Make sure that matches what you ordered. It's marked up. It says what color, what configuration, etc. We have seen a few mistakes from the carrier putting the wrong label on the wrong bike. So that's happened a few times, especially in Canada lately, where people have gotten the wrong bike, even though we had it all correct in the system. Unfortunately, the humans who do put the labels on the boxes have messed up. So once it gets to you, check those labels. If there's any issue, do not open it. Contact us and we will sort it out. It'll be much easier if that bike has not been opened. Williard Hotch, good to hear from you. Waiting patiently on my 19-inch Pro tangerine color. Williard, we can't wait to get it to you, and thank you again for your patience. I know it's an agonizing wait, but you're going to be impressed once you get the bike. Cynthia, when will the next notices go out? I believe just in the next couple days here. I'll let Troy confirm that, but I've been told it should be this week for 660 baby makers going to the US and Canada. The left brake cable is routed to the right side of the fork. It then routes back to the left side of the fork to connect the disc brake. I will ask the team about that. Have you sent us photos? I'd really like to see photos of that. It's very rare that we make a mistake like that because they are built in mass, where all of them are built to the exact same configuration. So it may not be something that's standard that you're used to seeing, but they should all be built the same. So I would love to see a photo of that Dinosaur. Ding, hi Rob, is July 31st deadline for all bikes or just the USA? All bikes, Ding, all bikes, July 31st. Cynthia Oches, thank you. Dinosaurs, yes, sent. Great. Do you mind telling me your name or your ticket number? Ticket number would be best because I won't have your private information, and we'll get with the support team on that. Got it. Thank you, Dinosaur. And where are you located? I have heard a report from some writers in the EU. Dean. Great. I'm going to send a chat about that. Dean, we'll look into that. Pat McGeehan. Hi, Rob. I want to order my second bike off of FLX. The last time you gave me a military discount of 17% off. Can you match it this time on the step through? Hey, Pat, that's a discount that's I've never heard of one that high. Who did you deal with? That's certainly not standard operating procedure for us, a 17% discount. But if you let me know who you dealt with, I could check with them on what they're doing right now. Sometimes we do offer a small discount for military, active military. So that's a possibility. I wouldn't think it'd be that high, though. Dinosaur 13,819. Hey, thank you very much. We will look into that issue with your brakes. Frank Lukacs, haven't received my bike. Can I check on the size I ordered? Hey, Frank, yes, you can. If you go on to Indiegogo, log into your account and there should be a section there that says My Contributions. It will tell you what you ordered. If you go in there, it will tell you the exact specifics. It'll say 19 or 23 for the size. Pat McGeehan, Sarah. Okay, I will ask her about it. Is it possible that you got a April 2019? Did you get a shop bike, a demo model, a used bike possibly from us? In that case, that's when we can do some heavier discounting. And we do have some bikes in the shop right now, some floor models, etc., where we may be able to give some heavier discounts on. Okay, when the questions slow down, it's a slow live today compared to normal. I think the good news from Spain factors into that. Okay, the question about Germany, how many ordered from Germany? Wow, I'm seeing quite a lot. I'm seeing about 400 to 450 orders to Germany, depending on how correct this information is from Indiegogo. I was way off. I said 100. All right, we've got our first guest on the live. Big. Actually, I'm going to give you a song. We've got Troy in the house with his own theme song. What's going on, Troy? Let me get your microphone on.
Okay.
And so you can see yourself. There you are.
Well, there I am.
All right. If you don't mind getting real close to that
Real
microphone.
close. All right. I'll speak up too. Okay. Well, let's start from the beginning. So I heard you touch briefly on Spain. So had our morning call this morning. Franco is absolutely killing it, doing a fantastic job. Good person to have in place. So what is happening is we are still getting some items released, but we do have items released. We do have stuff to build bikes. So what's happening is I'm just finished out going through a new build plan. I had laid out the builds based upon the containers. I think you touched on it in the update that here we get a container in, they check it, and they move the whole container. In Spain, Customs gets a container in, they take all the boxes out, they go through box by box, and we had some issues with some boxes that basically got recycled. And the customs people didn't care for that, so they bounced some stuff. We have 2 containers, actually 4 containers sitting. We got boxes from all 4 containers, but we didn't get all the boxes from all 4 containers, and predominantly from two containers. So they gave me a list of what they have, frames and forks, which are really the critical item, and I put that together for a UK build. Right now it's at 118 bikes. We are trying to be between 130 and 144 bikes per build. I'm hoping that as they get additional materials in, that they'll provide that to me, and I'll go ahead and add to that build plan. But right now it's at 118 bikes based upon the materials that they have and the requirements we have in the UK. They should be getting going on that tomorrow. That's my understanding. They got the materials. We'd already given them a preliminary go ahead this morning to start building bikes, and now I finished out the plan, and we'll be tracking that. We actually have a tracking sheet day by day. What are you building? As we do with the other plants, and we will know exactly what they're doing. So I'm hoping they have bikes ready to move to our distribution partner in the UK next week. That is the plan currently. And then we're laying out subsequent builds. Again, if you've ever done a build plan, it's not simple, so we're kind of in hyperdrive here trying to get a build plan based upon the materials we have available. It's going to be very fluid. I know some time ago we'd sent out some notifications to folks in the UK. I'm not sure how many of those are going to actually be part of UK1 shipment. We're going to have to revisit that and probably send out, well, not probably, we will send out another set of notifications to you folks about address and the like.
Just a quick note on this. We do get a lot of questions and comments saying, why don't you tell us exactly when my bike is arriving. If you're planning everything out, this is the exact reason we can't provide an exact date for people. Troy spends all day, every day planning out the builds and everything, and it's challenges like these where we have to scrap the plan, make a complete new one. Where if we told you a date and we have to do that, and then the date changes, that puts a noose around our neck. So that's why we're not able to do that. It's only until the bikes actually get built and they're on a ship once we can really tell you, okay, it's on its way.
Yep. So that's where we are at. Again, the good news is Spain is going to be moving. They've got enough to start building bikes, and Franco is really all over it with the customs people, and has been just really kind of a dynamo, something we needed there. So since I couldn't go myself, we got a local there, and again, he's doing a fantastic job. So we're obviously talking with him every day and getting updates, and we are having regular calls with them and going over this. So every day we'll be getting an update on that, and hopefully next week we will have some good news on bikes moving. So that takes care of that. I've seen some questions. I should stay off Facebook, but I don't. People ask about, well, you're delivering bikes to the rest of Europe. Why aren't you delivering it to the UK? So where people are still getting bikes, in fact, everything's really been shipped. We sent 2 truckloads to the Netherlands, to our distribution partner there, and then the next one will be a truckload to the UK. The way this was done was the mainland Europe had almost exactly twice the number of orders that the UK did. So we were going to do 2 orders to the Netherlands for distribution, and then 1 to the UK, and it'll go 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 all the way out. So what'll happen now is we did the 2 Netherlands ones, and we ran out of bikes. We ran out of material to make bikes. Now we have a truck that's going to be going to the UK. That'll be UK1. Then it'll be followed by NL3, NL4, and then UK2 and NL5, NL6, and so on and so forth until we finish this whole thing out. So that's how that's going to work, and is the most equitable way we could find do this thing so that everybody was getting their bikes. Unfortunately, there was the hiccup after NL1 and NL2 that we didn't get stuff cleared from customs. I mean, and to be fair, if we would have gotten stuff out of customs on a timely basis, we would be kind of at parity with where we are in North America. I mean, if you accelerate the whole plan about 2 months, which is what the additional delay has been in Spain over what we normally deal with here in the U.S., the stuff that is going out in, say, January, February. So unavoidable. It unfortunately happened at the very beginning of the whole supply chain, which is the customs piece in Spain, and is affecting everything downstream. But now that we have material flowing, I think we're going to be able to recover, and we will be pushing them daily. Okay, we can talk about U.S. or actually let's be fair, North America. Container 15, there's a few labels left, but the bikes and touring kits have been pushed out. 300 plus touring kits, 150 some odd bikes. Those are all moving. I should be seeing tracking numbers on those. And we actually just pushed out another. We have another. I actually haven't pushed out. We sent the labels. We have another order going out to Hawaii. That should ship out this week. 3 more bikes, and there's a battery for somebody who owns a non-baby maker in Hawaii. Container 16, we will start shipping the end of this week. So if you got an address verification on February 16th, that's when we did the address verification, that is container 16. That'll start shipping out the end of this week. You'll start seeing tracking numbers on that. On Monday, container 17 was delivered. I think it delivered at port 36. It delivered to FedEx freight on Monday. We are awaiting the warehouse receipt on that. That one will be shipping out next week. If you got a address verification for a bike on 225 or a touring kit on 33, that is container 17. The bikes will go out first next week. The touring kits will go out after the bikes go out, but that should be shipping out next week. We're still awaiting containers T2 and T3. They've pushed those out to 4/13 for delivery. We're tracking that. That doesn't look right. It's a different shipping company than we normally deal with, and the shipping tracking is a little bit different. I'm not real happy with it. We're going to keep tracking that. I'm not sure I believe that date, just because I know when it's shipped and I know where the boat is, and it just does not seem like a real date right now. So T2, T3, again, they're showing 4/13, but we're looking for the containers, but the vessel finder is telling us something else. So we're continuing to track that one. You will start seeing probably today or tomorrow, we're going to send out allocation letters. We did this previously for T1 through T3 and container 15 through 17. 660 bikes. Those allocation letters will go out today or tomorrow. Just a matter of when we run it through MailChimp. But you'll see those. That's a whole bunch of...
What's MailChimp?
MailChimp is the system we use for sending out lots and lots of emails to many, many people. And that's about as best I can explain it.
Beautiful.
Because I'm not the guy who does it. I just give it to somebody else, and he says, oh, we do it in MailChimp. Okay, sounds great. So those will be going out. That's a ton of the Kiwis, which you saw in the production update. People are saying, oh, look at all the Kiwi bikes. There's a bunch of Kiwis in there. There's a bunch of matte black Pro, both 19 and 23 uppers and the like. So you'll see those the next few days. Container T5 is supposed to sail 4/2. We'll send out those allocations in the next 10 to 12 days. That's 484 bikes. So there's a lot of allocation letters going out, a lot of address notifications, and a lot of bikes going out. Oh, to back up, Frank, your bike is a 23-inch. I looked it up. Okay, low volume locations. So the way we're doing that, there's a whole bunch. We're going to start shipping those in April. There's a whole bunch of locations with a very small quantity of bikes. What we're going to be doing with those is to try and make things easier in terms of logistics. We're going to be packing everything in one box. The plan is we'll put the touring kits on the bikes, and they'll go out that way. It's just a whole lot easier, because otherwise you run into customs issues. It'll just go as a bike, as opposed to, in actuality, we had Canada disassemble our touring kits. They weren't happy. That was we had a little holdup. Yeah, we had actually a holdup with touring kits going to Canada. They stopped them because we said it's a touring kit, and we put the harmonized code as bicycle accessories, and they said, no, there's more than one thing in here. And we literally had to go through manually. Last week, I had to go through, I forget how many it was, 40 or 50 invoices, and actually change them and put in all 6 items that are in the touring kit. They wouldn't accept it, even though they're all the same harmonized code and all the rest of that stuff. Canada Customs bounced that. So that won't happen on C17. We've taken care of that.
Go ahead.
I just remembered you had mentioned some Canadian Customs issues. We had an invoice issue last week. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about it briefly. 87 bikes were affected by that. I know, because I actually had to go in and manually change the FedEx generated commercial invoice, because again, it was the $1 value thing, and we had to go through and change that. I think you talked about that. They grabbed the wrong column in my data file that I sent them. Didn't grab the value, they grabbed the number of bikes, which was always 1. So we went through it and manually changed those. There's a couple that are still hung up. In fact, they just sent me an email earlier, said, can you update these invoices? I thought they had sent all of them to me. Apparently they'd only sent 85. I will do the last 2 as soon as they send those to me. Our apologies, responsibility for it. Our partner, we thought we had it tested out. We thought we knew the integration. The good news is, going forward on C16, we've got bikes going to Canada, and we've already checked those invoices and they're going to be fine. So we won't have that issue where stuff gets hung up in Canadian customs for invoice reasons.
We better ask them to do some wall sits at FedEx there.
That's a great
I want
idea.
photo evidence.
I forgot about that. Did you share the fact that we did those for Connie?
Yeah, Connie. So both Troy and Ben did a wall sit for you.
There's evidence of this, by the way.
They do have photo evidence of it.
Yes. So,
Hey, real quick while you're looking at your notes there, Deanna Zor, I wanted to get this while you're still on the live before you leave. Question about the brakes on your bike. So I did pull up your ticket, and I see you were working with Mark. He's instructed that on installation, so just when you put the bike together, as you know, you're the one putting the handlebars on. It looks like your wheel and fork was just rotated around 360 degrees. So all you've got to do is rotate that back around. It was installed incorrectly, and that will fix the brake cable issue on your bike. So just say it's a pretty common install mistake we see from time to time. So all you got to do is just take off the 4 bolts from the handlebars if you've got those on. Rotate the wheel 360 degrees to the left, put it back on, and you're good to go.
180.
360.
180 degrees, right? No?
360.
360.
Yeah, 360.
Okay.
He's got to go 180 and another 180.
Okay. Never mind. I'll stick to supply chain.
All right, Troy, what's next?
That's pretty much it. We said we're going to start low volume locations. That'll start in April. We have to go through logistics with every single country that we do. So, freight forwarder and all the rest of that jazz. And it's country by country. You do like the United States is very easy because you're shipping thousands here. EU is pretty straightforward because, again, it's in the European Union. But when you get to the low volume locations where you've got 5 bikes and 4 bikes and 12 bikes and things like that, but it's a ton of countries. So you end up, it's as much work to do one of those countries as it is to do the United States, and you're shipping 4 bikes kind of thing. It doesn't mean it's not important, but it's just a numbers game.
Awesome.
I will touch on, I talked about this before. We got address notifications please, when you get these, in fact, I even circled it, when you get your address verification, and I know a lot of people say, well, we didn't get the address verification. If you're getting an email from FedEx, you got your address verification because we are the ones who provide the email address to FedEx. So we've got the same one, and we can actually see bounce backs so we know if it's a bad email address and the like. But when you get this letter, this is really important. This is the configuration. Please make sure this is correct. If you have an issue with that, I'll hold it up closer. And of course, the address information is up above here, on the right side. That's really important. Make sure your address is right. Of course, your email address would be right, or you wouldn't get the email. Your phone number, because FedEx and all the carriers require a phone number. Make sure that is correct. Make sure your configuration is correct. As we mentioned, at the bottom of that is the legend. That shows what that configuration is. Please make sure that's correct. We've had some folks who, unfortunately, we shipped some bikes out wrong. If you get the wrong bike, contact support immediately. We've had some folks who said, well, I got drop bars and it's supposed to be upper bars, so I opened it up and just send me the different parts. It's not that simple, unfortunately. We need to get the bike back. We need to send you the right one. The way the brake cables and such are routed, it's not a simple task for a rider to do. It's really something that requires someone who is experienced at doing that. And we'd like to make sure that you get a bike that works the way it's supposed to from the factory.
Awesome. All right, let's see if there's any questions for you, Troy. I believe Connie was asking about, do you know if her Blade 2.0 is going to have the original tracking number or a new tracking number? Somebody told her it was shipping out today.
It'll have a new tracking number.
New tracking number for you, Connie.
Yeah.
And let's see here. I'm just going to pick the questions here that are relevant to Troy at the moment. Let's see. Any updates on Canadian bikes that are stuck? I believe it was Canadian C14. Those should be the ones with the invoice issue. So we've got, 2 left that you're working on?
I think there's 2 left.
2 left.
Yeah.
So that might be yours, AIY. If you got the shipping notification tracking number, if you didn't, then you're probably in a future shipment. Mark says, hello, Troy. I'm waiting for a Kiwi 19 Pro order 98-130 soon.
So that's a Shopify order. We are starting to fulfill Shopify. We are, in some cases, we are getting to the point where we've done all the Indiegogo orders for certain configurations, and now we're going to start rolling into some Shopify orders. So if you did Shopify, hang in there. They are being, again, done in date orders. So there's some people who ordered very, very late on Indiegogo. They aren't going to be ahead of the people who ordered prior to them in Shopify. We are going in date order. So it's coming. Like I said, there's a ton of Kiwis on the way.
What's Shopify, Troy?
Shopify is a shopping cart app that we use. I thought it was a supply chain guy.
It's our website.
It's our
website. If you
Okay.
ordered on the website, they are being shipped out in date order. Same with the Indiegogo orders.
He's testing me.
All right, Troy, I ordered an extra battery and charger to keep in my office. Are those being shipped at the same time with the baby makers, or will it be a separate package?
Those will be a separate package. Unless you're at a low volume location, then they're going to be put together. So we've sent out quite a few of the chargers. What we do is every couple of weeks, we sweep through, say, look at the full-filled bikes. Do these people have a charger? Because the chargers are actually coming, if it's in the US or Canada, those chargers are coming out of San Diego. So we sweep through, say, has the bike been fulfilled, and is there a charger order? And then we will fulfill those. The same thing will happen with the batteries. We have a bunch of batteries here. The issue is we don't have the little charging umbilical, which is this little wire that allows you to use your charger to charge the battery outside of the bicycle. Otherwise, you would have had to install it in the bike to be able to charge it. That's kind of a pain because you want to be able to maintain those batteries. You want to be able to charge it and keep it charged. If you let it run dead and it sits in my understanding, discharge state, it will die. So that is the umbilical we're waiting for. It was about a 5-week lead time. I think we're about 2 weeks into that. So roughly 3 weeks, we'll get those umbilicals, and then the batteries will start flying out of here too.
Awesome. All right, last question for you, Troy. If I were to order a baby maker, how long could I be waiting for delivery to London, UK?
On Indiegogo, that is, the answer is it's going to depend. It's going to depend on what model you're wanting to order. And in some cases, what we have ordered and what we have available are actually, in terms of kitted and currently planned for Spain, are equal. And there's no bikes available of certain configurations. Now, I'm working with our contract manufacturer who's doing our kitting in China to go ahead and add some additional kits to fulfill and allow us to have some additional bikes. But well, we're going to be dependent on Spanish customs again. That's another issue. But I want to put another container to sea here in April, going to Spain for some additional builds.
Awesome. Don't leave yet because we got another question. Great job, guys. So it seems that T4 and T5 will be focused on Kiwi and black. What about T2 and T3? Waiting for a Pro 23 up orange.
So T2 and T3, we put out the allocation letters. If you didn't get an allocation letter, then you're probably not on to T2 or T3 because those allocation letters went out last month. He's looking for a what?
Pro 23 orange upper.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember always the manifest. I know like T4 is only like 5 SKUs and it's 660 bikes, but in some cases we're getting 15 different SKUs in a container. So T5, I think I know what's on it. We have a preliminary manifest for that, but I'm waiting for the actual manifest. And it's all based upon build pattern and things like that. We put together a build plan, and then they come back and say, well, this is what it actually is, and a part of it is how they group parts together. In some cases, they're not sitting on all of the inventory. They're still functioning on, I wouldn't call it just in time, but they do have a supply chain of their own that they have to manage. And in some cases, it's we need these bars, we need these brakes type of thing, and that stuff is flowing in. If there's a delay on some of that stuff, they'll move to a little different SKU, a little different setup, and build those bikes. So it's a very fluid situation in manufacturing, especially with the bike parts situation the way it is. So we don't want to hold a container because a set of bars or something like that has been held for a week, or so we are always moving ahead with what we can manufacture.
Awesome. All right, I think that's it, Troy.
All right.
Thank you so much for the update today, for answering the
too bad.
questions, and yeah, easy one today, huh?
Not too well. You know what? I don't want
Things
to
are
invite.
moving.
I don't want to invite things to get any.
Give us the
tougher.
hard questions. All right, Troy.
Hold those for next week.
Big round of applause. Thanks for your hard work. Okay, Deanozor. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. You do not need to rotate the handlebars. The handlebars stay. I'll try and mime this out for you. So the handlebars need to stay in one position, and it's your wheel that needs to rotate 360 degrees to the left. So pull your handlebars off, and you probably still have them off right now, and then just rotate that wheel and fork 360 degrees to the left. The handlebars stay in one place. It's the wheel that rotates, not the handlebars. Sorry if I wasn't clear before. Please try that. That should resolve the issue. What happened is probably when it pulled out of the bike, the wheel went to one side rather than the other. That's what's causing that brake cable, your front brake cable, to wrap around the wheel. It's because it needs to be rotated 360 degrees to the left. All right, I'm going to go back through the questions here, and anything that we skipped over that were not relevant to Troy, I'll be answering those now while we wait for the next guest to come in. Give me 1 sec to catch up on where we were at in the comments. When will the next notices go out? I believe Troy said in the next few days here for that T4. All right, from Jarhead. Come on in, Sarah. You get a big round of applause, too.
Hey guys, what is up?
All right, we've got Sarah in the house. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I have a bit of a headache, but I'm having a good day.
Why do you have a headache?
I don't know.
What's
not enough water.
been the highlight of your last 2 weeks?
Kyle closed on a house. That was pretty cool.
No way.
Yep.
So wait, is he purchased the house?
Yeah, he purchased the house.
No way.
Yeah, and I get it all to myself because he's deploying, so I get to take over the whole home.
That's awesome. He closed on a house for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's really cool. Where is it?
It's like technically Morena area, which is like 10 minutes from PB.
That's super cool.
Yeah, super stoked.
Congratulations. All right, what are some common things we're seeing in rider support besides where is my bike? What are some things we've been seeing this week, and how are we getting through them?
So that, of course, and then as the touring packages are getting delivered, just a lot of people that have questions about their touring package. So I've been sending out the video that Ben made, which has been super helpful. It's on our YouTube channel, so I've been sending that out a lot, and just how to assemble and just normal questions like that now that we're pushing out so many bikes.
How's the support level?
Manageable. Very manageable.
Very manageable. Awesome. Cool. Let's see if there's any questions for you here. Somebody said it was snowing today here in Germany. We earned a little bit more time until the baby maker needs to be here. Patiently waiting. Keep up the good work, guys.
Oh,
Alex in Germany.
I don't envy your snow.
Jarhead says, hey, Rob, on that ride that Pete took through Europe on the baby maker, was it a stock baby maker or something built for that ride? Bigger battery, gear different, et cetera, single speed going up those. Do you know the answer to that?
I think I do. I think he had the beta, if I'm correct, and there was nothing special about it made for that ride in particular. So it was just our prototype that we had at first. So the new baby makers we have are a little bit different now, but there was nothing specially made for that bike for that trip.
Yeah, so he was on the beta, and we've made a couple upgrades since that bike. The battery capacity is the same. The gearing should be pretty much the same, maybe 1% or 2% in either direction. And then he kitted it out with like pannier bags and all that. But apart from that, he was just really managing the battery. All right. Tim asks, how many bikes ordered to the Netherlands?
Right.
I think it's about 90. 90. I just looked it up. All right, June. We got that.
Oh, I do have one that I've been getting a lot this week.
What's that?
So we've had riders who have adjusted their shipping address, and then they get a notification from Indiegogo saying that their bike is shipping and it still has their old address on it. So if that has happened, you can still email us and double check. But when we adjust your address, it doesn't change in the Indiegogo system. So we probably have the correct address on file, but any notifications that you get from Indiegogo, it'll have your original address that you had on your order.
Thank you, Sarah. Do you mind approaching the
Sorry.
microphone a little bit? It's only putting one of us in focus. All right. Let's see. Ooh, I don't know if you know the answer to this. Edward, aloha, could you repeat what is the latest on the shipments to Hawaii?
I know that we just recently shipped 4 or 5 bikes to Hawaii, and we have more en route on T2, I think. Don't quote me on that. Just email me at support@flx.bike, and I can get you specifics to your order if you have a bike going to Hawaii. So they are headed that way. I'm just a few at this time.
I think from the last update, Troy mentioned we're approximately halfway through those Hawaii orders, so more will come. It is a bit challenging to ship them to Hawaii. We kind of wait until we've got 4 or 5 ready to go, put them on a pallet, and then ship them LTL to Hawaii just to save you shipping costs. That's all the questions. Wow. All right. My contribution ID is 12,004 US, ordered on June 7th. Any idea how many folks ahead of me, Sarah?
Well, that's kind of a difficult question to answer just because we do go in order according to your order date, but it all goes by configuration, country, and all of that. For orders placed in June, I believe we're anticipating within the next couple of months, but we will have all orders out by July 31st. We have a great chart on our website that you can go look at that will get you an estimated time frame. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many are in front of you.
I'm saving all the hard ones for you.
Thank you.
So, summary, just by July 31st, sometime between now and then. We can't give it an exact date due to all the variables, but sometime before then. And the next question, very similar. Sorry, I'm late to the live chat. Could you let me know when I can expect the Germany order number 1962?
I'm guessing that is placed in according to your date in May, so I would think really soon. You can email us at support@flx.bike, and I can look at the specifics, but I would guess in the next couple of months for that one.
I would recommend against emailing for a specific date on that because Sarah won't be able to tell you exactly when it's arriving. We can't say before July 31st. But you are earlier order, and there are more and more bikes going out to Europe. Next week, I believe, our first UK shipment is supposed to leave, and then after that, more bikes to Europe the following week. And then pretty much every week, we'll have a shipment from Spain to either UK or Europe. But Knob 1RR would like to know, how are orders coming to Santa Barbara?
All orders in the U.S. are coming via FedEx ground.
I think he meant how are they coming along?
Oh, good. Same as U.S. I don't know any specifics for Santa Barbara, but same as everywhere else.
Cool. Dang, we're all caught up on questions. It's a slow one today. You know what that means? A lot of bikes have been delivered. Awesome. All right, Sarah, what else is going on in your life? Anything exciting?
Not really. I'm just here all the time.
When's your move-in date?
It's supposed to be this weekend, but we're completely what's the word that I'm looking for?
Remodeling?
Remodeling.
Renovating.
Yes, renovating.
Renovating.
Yeah, that. the entire townhome. So we probably won't move in for a couple of weeks just because we're redoing the whole kitchen and all the flooring and stuff like that. So
Awesome. I was going to say it can't be anytime soon because I didn't get an invite to a housewarming party.
okay, as soon as that happens, then I will give you the invite.
All
Although I'm a
right.
little bit afraid to have the FLX crew in a new remodeled house.
Matt said, what happened to Pete? So Pete is a big FLX advocate. He's in the UK right now. Edgar, do you have an estimated price without the VP discount of the weapon and Weapon X and estimated time of delivery?
I'm gonna let you take that one.
Do you know about that? Yeah, so nobody at the office knows yet. We're still negotiating the final prices on that. Our goal is basically to build you the absolute best screaming e-bike out there to compete with bikes that are 14K, but get it to you for a lot less than that. So we've got two models of the weapon. One is the weapon, which is kind of a base model, aluminum frame. That's going to be a bit more affordable. Indiegogo kind of launch crowdfunding price will be somewhere between 3 and 5K. And then the Weapon X retail price will be around 14,000. It's, again, got the best of everything you can get on a downhill bike. And our target price is to get that under 10K. We don't have the exact prices yet, but do sign up for that. I believe it's weapon.flx.bike if you're interested in a screaming electric full suspension mountain bike. It's carbon fiber, the Weapon X, and aluminum for the weapon. Do sign up, and we'll tell you everything as we know it. All right, Mahalo Aloha wants to know what support address should I send my request to, Sarah?
It's support@flx.bike. Or you can go on our website and we have a request form in there, which actually makes it a lot easier for us because then we have all of your information at once. So our website is flx.bike and then you just click on the support button.
Beautiful. All right, Sarah, thank you so much
Cool.
for joining the
Yeah.
live. Keep up the good work. Big
Bye,
round
guys.
of applause for Sarah. I think we're all caught up on questions. This is amazing. This is the first time ever. We've been seeing so many bikes get delivered in the Facebook group. Really, really exciting. And I hope to have less and less people on these lives because that means less of you are waiting for bikes and more of them got delivered. Come on in, Jason.
Right. What's up, guys?
Big round of applause for Jason.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, if you don't mind just scooting real close to that microphone, that'd be
for sure.
awesome. So Jason is here. He is our head mechanic, working out in the front shop, just amazing with electric bikes. We call him the e-bike whisperer. He's built so many electric bikes and electric skateboards as well. That was kind of how he got the job here with all that knowledge. But if you guys have any mechanical related questions, etc., Jason is the man. He can answer them much better than I can. So for the first one I've got for you, Jason, we were just looking at the brakes for Mr. Dianozor.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and pull up those photos, and if you can check, make sure I got the correct diagnosis.
Yeah. It was actually I was listening to the live while you were talking about that. Absolutely perfect. I realize in the comments that Dean was saying the bars couldn't be turned. He's absolutely right about that. But the clarification that you gave him was absolutely spot on. You do want to unwind that wheel, basically turning the wheel anti-clockwise or to the left, 360 degrees, and that will put everything lined up. I assume that when unpackaging was happening, and it's very easy for it to happen because the bars are not installed. Once you pull everything out, take all the foam packaging off, it's pretty easy for those forks to turn themselves around the wrong way. And it's easy to miss. So simple correction, I would say you don't need to take it to a bike shop. Simply remove the handlebars. It looks like you already have done that from the photo that I'm looking at right now. And from that point, all you got to do is just turn that wheel to the left, 360 degrees, and absolutely everything should line up on the correct side. Dean, if you're still watching, you go ahead and put a comment in and let us know if you did get that figured out or fixed. And then further, if you can't figure it out, I will personally give you a phone call and help to walk you through it, maybe even FaceTime with you if that's possible.
Awesome. Hey, that's good service. How's that? Now where the hose ties in the fork
Mhm.
here, that should be on the rear of the fork, correct? Once he turns it around, that's in the back.
That's correct. Yeah, actually, I think that from what we're looking at in the photo, that is the back side of the fork that we're seeing there. I believe that I can see kind of the down tube in the photo. But yes, that is correct. The zip tie holding it to the fork should be in the rear of the fork.
Great. Yeah, Dean. So if you haven't already, 360 degrees to the left, and that tie will still be on the back. Now that's a really easy one for that to happen because the front wheel is not on the bike when it's in the packaging. So it's so easy for it to rotate one way or the other. So really simple fix, and please let us know how you get on with it. All right, Mansoor, what way is better to order via Indiegogo or website for Baby Maker Pro 19 Blue for UK London delivery as soon as possible? I would say Indiegogo at the moment. I'm not sure if our website is configured to allow shipping to the UK right now. So I'd go for Indiegogo if you're outside the US. If you're in the US, the website will be the best, www.flx.bike. All right, Jarhead has a question for you.
Right on.
When I washed the bike, I think, any special precautions? He said spike. Okay, he said bike below. When I washed the bike, any special precautions?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, and I appreciate you asking that. The bike is designed and built to be, I believe, IP65 certified, which is water and dust resistant. Always keep in mind it is not a submarine, so you don't want to put those electronic components completely underwater. But again, it's safe to ride it in the rain. The precautions or measures I would take to maintain everything, because you have a lot of metal working parts on the bike, make sure you dry off any water that does sit once you get back to your destination. Also dry up the LCD display, and it can't hurt to just take up any drops that are around the motor. But generally, the battery is very protected. There's a rubber seal sitting behind the faceplate, so you should not have any water ingress. But just due diligence, wipe it down after you've ridden it in any water, and you absolutely shouldn't have any issues.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Thank you, Jason. We do have a video on riding the bike in the rain where Jason actually gives some tips at the end of the video on how to take care of the bike if you get it wet. I'd recommend checking that out. I think it's called Can You Ride the Baby Maker? Can You Ride an Electric Bike in the Rain? And it's a picture of a baby maker on it. All right. Dean just gave an update. You guys are right. I'd recommend adding this to your install video. It's done. Awesome, Dean. I think that's our first live fix on a live Q&A. Dean, hey, thank you so much for trying that out. I'm really happy it worked. And apologies if the emails before weren't clear on exactly how to get that done. What we're going to do is review your ticket, your specific ticket, see exactly what was said and how we can improve on our communication so that it's more clear in the future. Also consider adding that to the install video so it doesn't happen to other folks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, Todd asked, what was the reason for going with a rubber belt instead of a derailleur? Which I think he means chain or standard cassette.
Yeah, it's kind of a double loaded question, if you will. Just to speak on the belt is literally nearly zero maintenance. I would say after some wear and tear in thousands and thousands of miles or kilometers on the belt, that thing is still going to run just like it did day one. So it was an easy choice. The second part of that question regarding the derailleur, the bike is actually just a single gear drive. Not installing a derailleur allows for quite a bit of convenience. There's not extra mechanical parts to maintain. There are less mechanical parts to damage and keep you from riding. So setting it up as a single gear drive, from the design standpoint, I think Rob could speak to that a little bit. He had a little more insight on the actual design of the bike. But generally set up as a single gear drive with a belt, very low maintenance, very easy to take care of, and will last far, far longer than any chain. Chains will always stretch over time, specifically on an e-bike due to the torque, but generally on any bike just due to the force that you're applying to get yourself going. So it was almost, for us, I think it was almost a no-brainer. And the going way of using a belt drive system on bikes today is kind of the future, and it's what a lot of different companies are starting to fall into or stay in line
100%.
with.
We've seen a lot of those since the Baby Maker campaign, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more now. Yeah, totally. I can't answer it much better myself. Just the design ethos behind the Baby Maker bike is to go as simple as possible. What's the least amount of stuff that we need to put on this bike to keep it lightweight, to keep it simple, so that anybody can just get on it, use it, and have a fun time without dicking around with all the gear shifting, Bluetooth, all that junk. Just get on, ride, put a smile on. Danny asks, is there a video on how to install the fenders and rear rack?
Yes, there are. I believe we very recently put that out there. I recommend for an easy link to it, you can simply send an email to support@flx.bike. Sarah or one of the other customer service agents can easily send you the link to that, so you could just follow along. I recommend watching it pretty thoroughly. I believe it's also a 16, 17-minute video. Can seem a bit monotonous, but it really does point
No
out
offense.
no offense. I mean, it really does come down to the kit is sent to you in quite a bit of small pieces. Lining everything up and putting everything in its correct place is very detailed in that video. So I would definitely recommend watch the video, follow along. You can rewind and play as needed, and you'll get it all set up very simply.
Very nice. I'm going to send you a link to that if I can find it. Oh, man, it might be hidden. All right. Next, Todd said it's very hard to ride on low battery, referring to the single speed choice.
That's a very good point. Just to kind of speak of how electronics work from a direct current or from a battery source, your wattage or the power output of the bike is at lower voltage. So once the battery has been depleted, the wattage is also going to come down, and you're really going to have to rely more on the effort of the legs. This is true to absolutely any e-bike out there. On a lot of e-bikes out there, you have the additional parts like a derailleur and a gear set to kind of help if you do have to use more leg. But as we were just kind of speaking of just before, the reason we set it up as a single gear drive bike is to make it very stealthy, very low maintenance, very easy when it comes to generally owning the bike. So it's more specifically to the preference, I guess, of the end user. But I would say that yes, that is absolutely correct and is going to be a little harder to ride once you have lower voltage on the battery equating to lower wattage output. You just don't have the same power at low battery as you do full battery.
Hey, Danny, just posted the link to the touring package install video for the Baby Maker. Anybody who wants to see those, you can click on that. It was unlisted. And I didn't mean no offense to you. I meant no offense to the guys who produced the video in-house here so that they weren't offended by saying it's a monotonous video. Sarah said she had a video. Yeah, that's the video, Mark. Just posted it. Todd said, I'm still plotting it out in detail. Results not in. Great. Yeah, on that, it is a single speed bike, Todd. So when you're low on batteries, it's going to feel like a single speed bike. If you've ever ridden a beach cruiser or a fixie, it's going to feel very similar to that. With those single speed bikes, they do decent on flats. Once you get to hills, though, that's where it gets challenging. And that's why we built the Baby Maker, to add 350 watts of power onto the bike. So when you do have the power, you can just fly up the hills. Yeah. When you don't, though, you'll really want to ride it similar to a fixie or a what did I say? Beach cruiser? Yeah, beach cruiser. Yep. Get some speed up those hills. Carry as much speed as you can up the hills. And if you're out of batteries, they will be challenging. It's only got one gear. So that'll come down to your battery management. All right, Dean says, one recommendation for kickstand mounting, I'd put it further back. My left foot intersects the folded kickstand while riding occasionally. Thoughts on that?
The best that I could say is thank you very much for the advice. We can take that to the design team. We're always working to make the bike better. So the input that you guys offer is absolutely the input that we send to the design team. I could say, not much that I can do about it for your specific bike. Well, let me take that back. There are alternative kickstands that you could install that wouldn't necessarily use that kickstand mount. They have some universal clamp-on style kickstands if you needed to push the kickstand back, to accommodate your foot. I would say that's the best bet for your specific bike, but absolutely appreciate the advice. And I will relay that. Rob will relay that to the design team, so that we can hopefully make the bike, the best baby maker going forward.
Totally. Thank you for that. We do appreciate your feedback on that. Todd, on the range, totally understand about it being challenging to ride once you run out of batteries. We did have Pete actually, when testing the baby maker, kind of battle testing it in 2019, took it about 3,000 miles through Europe. He was doing 80 miles a day. And that's where really the battery management comes into it. On the flats, he was riding at 0, maybe 1 at times. And then he'd kick it up a little bit on the hills as needed. So that's just something that comes with experience. The more you ride it, the more you'll get a feel for it. And if you do want to do bigger, higher range or get a wider variety of gears, we do have a lot of other options. The step through, the trail, the blade especially. How many miles can you get on your blade, the Blade 2.0?
So yeah, I can get over 50 miles if I, like Rob is saying, really do battery management. What that entitles you to, though, is typically riding in a lower power level so that you're not expensing as much power. To be truthful and honest, very transparent, I ride my blade in power level 5 all the time. Basically, I love going fast. It's kind of the nature of my life. It's the way I like to do things. So a typical range for the Blade 2 is about 25 miles in full power mode. Absolutely.
I think we do way more than that.
Well,
Mark said he got like 60 miles on throttle only.
On throttle,
I think on the Blade 1, but it should be similar.
Well, so speaking to that, he may not have been consistently holding the throttle down. When I tend to go on longer commutes or full power long commutes, it'll typically be about 25 miles, but I'm talking about doing 25 miles at 40 miles per hour, which, yeah, I mean,
that'll burn through the battery.
It'll
That
burn
makes
through the
sense.
battery.
Yeah, Jason and I, we don't know what levels 1 through 4 do. I don't know what Eco does. I've heard there's these settings 1 through 4. No idea what they do.
Yeah,
0 or 5, 0 or 100 for us.
that's it.
Todd said, I watch the video. I ride daily at least an hour. Have 800 miles on the bike, about 80 hours.
Nice.
That's awesome, Todd. That's
yeah.
a lot of miles. Dean says, you're good. Just a comment. Awesome overall. Hey, Dean, we're so excited for you. And I'm excited now that that cable issue is sorted out. I'm excited for you to really experience the bike how it's intended to be. I think that's all the questions, Jason. Thank you so much for coming on, for the help, and keep
worries.
up the good work.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What else is going on in your life? Give us a personal note. What are you excited about for the upcoming month?
For the upcoming month, I'm excited. Professionally excited to be a big part of helping make the Weapon and the Weapon X happen. Personally, I'm just super excited that the sun is finally starting to come out. We're getting into the spring. I guess some folks may be a little jealous about the fact that we live in sunny San Diego, and we do typically have sun almost all of the time, but our best beach days are in front of us. Surfing, snorkeling, the ocean, and all of the hiking that we have out here in San Diego is absolutely astounding. It's a beautiful place to be. So generally just excited to be living, ready for the summer.
Hell yeah. Hey, you know what you should do? You should tell us about that rock. I think Alyssa's got it. We should ask her for that rock to show everybody. A little show and tell. It's an exciting find. I got to show you guys my rock. Can you ask her where that rock is?
Yeah, I can ask her for it for sure.
All right. Before Jason signs off, he knows a lot about geology and rocks. He does gold prospecting. Fun fact about Jason. So he's going to bring in a special treasure we found today. All right.
There we go.
So why don't you tell us about this?
So Rob went out, kind of taking. Let's find it in the. There we go.
There we go.
You guys can see a little bit of the sparkle in that. Rob just went out to kind of take a little bit of time in the sun, a little bit of thinking time. Just went on a walk. He passed by a quarry kind of a construction site area, and he found this just kind of sticking out, shining like that sparkle in the sunshine. He brought it to me and asked me, with my knowledge of some of the minerals. I'm a gold prospector, just side note, but asked me a little bit about what this might be because it was so pretty. Found out that this is basically just a type of iron. I can't recall the name exactly. Do you remember what I was saying? Hematite.
Hematite.
Yeah. So basically hematite, and this is called specularite. This basically has little flecks of mica that shine. Quite a incredible thing. They consider it a gemstone, mostly found in Michigan, as far as some of the little research that I did. But just one of those beautiful things, that kind of sticks out to the eye when you walk by it.
Let's hold that thing up
Yeah,
to the
yeah, see
lens
if you
so
can-
you guys can appreciate the beauty. If you ordered the Baby Maker, you appreciate beautiful things. And oh, there it
go.
is. Oh, come back. There it is. There, focus. Wow, look at that.
So
Hematite.
Yeah, they say that it sparkles. It's considered a gemstone because those flecks make it sparkle like the night sky. For those that are into crystals and stuff, they say that it gives strength. Yeah, there you go. Strengthens our connection with Earth, making us feel safe and secure. It endows us with courage, strength, endurance, and vitality. A stone for the mind, as they would call it. They say that hematite stimulates concentration and focus, enhancing memory and original thought. If you guys know anything about Rob, I work closely with him and know quite a bit about him. That is absolutely the kind of thing that would stick out to Rob's eye. Very thoughtful type of a dude. And really, I mean, any kind of strength to the focus is just gonna. I would say having this on his desk is ultimately gonna help the Weapon X, the Baby Maker, and the rest of the models that we designed really come to fruition. So this, I think, is a special find for Rob specifically. It's really cool.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for doing the research on this. I'm so excited about the increase in creativity and focus. That's
Yeah.
what we need around here. All right, Jason, keep up the good work.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for coming on.
Yep.
Big round of applause for Jason. All right. Sorry for the detour there while we talk about my new crystal. There's just a couple questions left. I will be ending the live once we get through these questions. So if there's any last minute questions, please fire away. And we've got some work to do here. We've got some bikes to deliver. All right. Todd says, current experiment, riding only first notch, battery at 3/5 after 70 miles. Wow, that's a big range, Todd, that you're getting at level 1. Just wondering, are there any orange Baby Maker standards being made? Yes, loads. Orange was a very popular color. While standards were not as popular as the Pro model, they did represent about 20% of the order's standards, and orange was one of the most popular colors. Black, sterling, and orange were the top three colors for us. Hi, Rob. How come the handlebar is skinny? That's just the one we chose, drawn from the water for the Baby Maker. We have had some feedback on there, folks asking for thicker handlebars. So future iterations, we're certainly keeping that in mind, considering a thicker bar. And other people have done a couple things. One is wrapping the bar in another layer of bar tape. 2 is just using a thicker bar tape. And 3 is replacing the bars with a thicker bar. So you could do one of those 3 if you're looking to get a thicker grip on your bar. Trebnod, hi Rob, how were you guys able to send 2 lots of bikes to the EU if you had all these customs problems? What's changed from those first 2 bike deliveries and now? So Trevnod, we actually did have customs problems with those 2 deliveries as well. It was about 2 to 3 months from when those first containers arrived in Barcelona to when they actually cleared to our factory, which was just ridiculous. We were waiting every day for them to clear. And at that time, we did not have our UK distribution center completely locked down yet. So the first bikes did go to Europe rather than the UK. We were under the impression, we were wrong about this, that once the first ones got through, the cogs would be greased, the gears would be greased, so to speak, and that future ones would go through a bit smoother. That's what we were told. Unfortunately, these last 4 containers were nothing but smooth. So now with Franco there, we're actually seeing some movement on the containers, and hopefully won't have as many challenges moving forward. In general, we're just hearing that doing things, administrative things in Spain is quite challenging, especially during COVID. Drawn from the water, is there a reason why you choose that type of seat? Yeah, it's a good all around seat. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's not too soft, not too hard. It's just a good generic seat. We use that in almost all of our models. A lot of people do end up choosing a seat that fits them even better, but it's a good standard seat. So it's not too cold, not too hot. It's just right in the middle for most people. Hi, Rob. I ordered the orange Baby Maker Standard in May 2020. I haven't gotten any allocation letter yet, nor do I see them in the Facebook group or in your updates. Are they being made? Just wondering. Yes, they are. Orange Baby Maker Standards are being made. I did touch on that earlier, but if you haven't received the allocation letter, please hang tight. It will be sometime between now and July 31st when you get that bike. Todd Marshall, quartz is rough on tires. Have had 6 flats so far on regular asphalt trail in Texas. Wow, that is really rough. That is a lot of flats, Todd. I'd recommend first examining how you got those flats. Is it a puncture somewhere through the tire? Is it a pinch flat? Pinch flats are very common when the tire is underinflated and you hit a curb or something like that, or is it something else? So please examine the inner tube where the actual puncture was, and you'll be able to find out, get better insight on why those flats are happening. And there are some other options. Eugene, for example, he put foam inserts in his wheels. That's a way to go basically to a tubeless option, these foam inserts, and then you inflate it with the foam. So even if it does go flat, you've still got the foam in there you can ride. And he's also tried Tannis airless tires. So it's a solid, like a really hard foam instead of an air tire. That's cool. It's a little bit harder of a ride, a little bit rougher than the air tires, but you can't get flats. Literally can't get flats on them. So if you do have terrain like that, I recommend checking out something like that. All right. Todd said, regarding the seat, your butt gets adjusted to it. It's racing bike style. Thank you. Mike, I wish I'd known you were coming on early. Mike, hey, sorry about that. I believe maybe it's the time change. It's the same time for us, but probably sounds early for other people because we did change time on Sunday for daylight savings time. Everybody in the United States went forward 1 hour. Connie Reese, don't forget to make my blade a priority to ship out along with the other hundreds of people. Thank you very much, Connie. Todd, tires now at 80 PSI. Just see tiny quartz at point of puncture. Tube on one split. Had to replace it. All right, Todd. Definitely want to look into those tubeless options. All right, everybody. That is all the questions for today. I will be ending the live. Thank you so much for joining. For everybody that hasn't gotten their bikes yet, thank you again for your patience. We're building at a rapid pace now and expecting to deliver everything before that July 31st deadline. Bob, the video for installing the touring package is posted up above. If you scroll up about 20 comments, you'll find it. Thank you, everybody. Again, please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and keep an eye out for the next production update next week. Take care, guys. Can't wait to get you those bikes.